What's up, BZ Dynasty? This is your boy, the man, the myth, and the legend, Mr. JB Zion Yoruba B'nai Ephraim of the tribe of Yosef. Shalom, shalom, my Israelite family. Shalom, shalom, my brothers, my sisters, my Gentile family. I love all of you with the love of the Most High, and welcome back to the channel. So you guys, as you guys see in the title, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Ahmaud Arbery case. I'm going to give a little background in case you're not familiar with what actually happened to this young man. Basically, the young man was on a jog. And as he was jogging, as most people do, he paused to take a breath, to take a breather at a construction site. So while he's there breathing, he walks around the property. He goes inside of the construction area. And he's just breathing, catching his breath. And he leaves up out of there. But what he doesn't know is that an older Caucasian male sees him. So he calls 911 and he proceeds, now y'all check this out, to go call for his son. They arm themselves, you know, with, I believe, shotguns. And they get in their pickup truck and they pursue this brother, y'all. They pursue him. And as you guys are going to see, they pursued the guy for about 4 or 5 minutes straight. And I think they had another neighbor that got involved. And he got in his pickup truck and went the opposite way to cut him off. And long story short, they end up, Ahmaud Arbery switches direction, just kind of goes right back into it. He's like, man, these guys are following me. Only God, only the Most High knows what was going on in his mind. Like, how do I get out of this situation? It's something out of a horror film, right? So he goes back down and he squares off with, I think, the son. And he goes around the truck and basically he gets in a tussle with the son, gets shot, and loses his life over some foolishness. Over I'm just gonna keep it real. I know I got a lot of Gentile family that watch as well, but right is right, and you all, most of you all that I know have the same sentiment. 2 redneck Esau white folks, Europeans, took it upon themselves to say, we're gonna use this occasion to hunt us one. That's basically what happened. They had numerous other people going in and out of that construction area, which, I mean, it's not right per se, because I don't know if you're supposed to really be doing that kind of stuff. But they had kids, they had people all different shades, and it just seems as if they said, the black guy come through here, we're gonna use this as an occasion against him. Because when 911 answers on the phone, they're too busy tussling. They don't even talk to 911, and for the longest time there wasn't even any footage of the tussle and what was going on. But basically, guys, today we're going to talk about that verdict that happened this past weekend. A lot of you may have already known what the verdict is, but just in case you don't know, I'm just going to let the footage speak for itself, and we're going to come back in and talk about it. Shalom.
Minutes before Ahmaud Arbery was shot and killed in Brunswick, Georgia, a home security camera caught him walking down Satilla Drive. The time on the security camera appears to be wrong. Police reports and 911 calls suggest it was just after 1 p.m. on Sunday, February 23rd. Arbery is about 2 miles from home. He stops briefly in front of a house under construction across the street and then goes inside. Someone is watching. At 1:08 p.m., the man calls 911 to report a trespasser. Security footage from inside the house under construction shows Arbery walking around briefly, and then he walks back out. By this time, other neighbors are on alert. Police reports say there had been an ongoing issue of trespassing in the house under construction. Past security videos show people, including children, going in and out of the property on different days. And just days before Arbery's shooting on February 11th, a text message saying Travis McMichael had confronted one of the trespassers. So today, they were on alert. Security footage shows Arbery leave the house under construction and run down the street. He runs past 230 Satilla Drive towards Burford Drive. Gregory McMichael sees him and thinks he recognizes him from the other day. Gregory told police that he ran inside his house and told his son, Travis, the guy is running down the street, let's go. Gregory grabs a pistol and Travis grabs his shotgun. In police interviews, the McMichaels say they didn't know if the man was armed or not. We see the father and son get in a white truck and follow Arbery. There's no public video showing what happened next, but Gregory later told police they followed Arbery down Satilla Drive toward Burford Drive. They followed Arbery down Burford and tried to cut him off. Arbery turned around and started running back towards Satilla Drive. At this point, another neighbor, William Roddy Bryan, joins in the chase. The police report says Roddy Bryan tried to stop Arbery and block him in. The chase continues around the neighborhood for a few minutes. At some point, Roddy starts recording on his cell phone. We see him following Arbery around the trees. The McMichaels are stopped just ahead of Arbery. The 25-year-old is now trapped between the two cars and the three men. While Roddy adjusts the camera, we hear shouting in the background. Gregory McMichael had called 911 from the bed of the truck, and Travis was now outside of the truck with his shotgun in hand. The video shows Arbery going around the right side of the truck to avoid Travis. Travis moves and meets Arbery in front of the truck.
Hello?
The 911 call goes dead. Travis shoots Arbery, and we see the two of them struggling towards the left side of the vehicle. Arbery and Travis struggle with the gun out of the frame. We hear the second gunshot in a plume of smoke. The two struggle back into frame. We hear a third gunshot before Arbery collapses. Travis McMichael later told officers, quote, if Arbery would have stopped, this wouldn't have happened. Travis and Gregory McMichael are both charged with murder, as is William Roddy Bryan. The Cobb County DA has been appointed the special prosecutor in this case, and at this point, no trial date has been set yet. All three men have pleaded not guilty.
Video showing investigators questioning the three men accused of murdering Ahmaud Arbery was released this week. In the video, the man who filmed Arbery being shot and killed, William Roddy Bryan, admits he tried to block Arbery several times to keep him from getting away. News for Jack's reporter Kelly Wiley walks us through the video.
Should we have been chasing me? I don't know.
Newly released body camera videos show interviews with the three suspects at the center of Ahmaud Arbery's death. In the newly released clips, you hear William Roddy Bryan tell investigators he tried to block Arbery, fearing he would get away.
They got down to the end down there somewhere. I must have passed him, but I pulled out of my driveway. Was going to try to block him. He was going all around it, and I made a few moves at him, and he didn't stop.
Bryan's attorney, Kevin Goff, first said back in May, Bryan did not participate in the shooting.
Roddy did not participate in the horrific killing of this young man.
911 CAD reports show former district attorney investigator Greg McMichael and his son Travis chased Arbery through the Satilla Shores neighborhood for 4 minutes after seeing him run out of a nearby construction site. The two claim they recognized Arbery from previous surveillance videos showing inside the open construction site.
Oh, son, we got inside. Okay. I said, come on, let's go. So Travis runs and gets his shotgun because the other night the guy stuck his hand in his pants. And so I grabbed my .37 Magnum. It's an old Glenn County PD issue, by the way, when I was out. So we take off. I jump in. My grandson's car seat is in the front. So we can't move it. Don't have time to move it. So I kind of sit on top of it. We see him come around the corner. He's going down here. We pull up beside him. Hey, stop. We want to talk to you. And he just keeps on running. And then Roddy pulls out. At some point, I don't remember exactly. Anyway, we're past his house. The guy turns around and he starts running back this way. Roddy pulls out in his truck and kind of blocks him. So I said, Travis, go back that way. He said, no, I'm going to go head him off. So sure enough, he comes around. We come back down here and he's right here. And he starts running past us. And Travis backs up and says, hey, stop. We want to talk to you. Or something to that effect. I don't remember exact words that was said. By this time, I'm in the back of the truck. So the guy, he's looking dead at us, he's like me to you. And he turns and he runs. Travis gets out with the shotgun and runs up there. And, I said, Travis, don't shoot. Don't do anything. The guy turns and comes at him. And they start wrestling, and Travis shoots him around the chest. So we run out to stop him to talk to him. He took off on us. Stopped, he come out of the truck running at us. I
I told him stop till he hit me. I had nothing to do.
They've had him on video going into that house numerous times. If I could have got a shot at the guy, I shot him myself.
The owner of the construction site, Arbery, was seen going out of the day of the shooting, and in the previous days is what the attorneys for the McMichaels are saying. They said the owner of that facility said he did not steal anything from the construction site. Investigators found no weapon on Ahmaud Arbery. And in the last week, the defense for the McMichaels filed a petition for certificate review. Basically, they want to appeal the judge's decision to deny bond for the McMichaels.
Ahmaud Arbery was murdered. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy on many, many levels. On February 23rd of 2020, almost 2 years ago, a resident of Glenn County, a graduate of Brunswick High, a son, a brother, a young man with dreams, was gunned down in this community. Again, after Ahmaud Arbery fell, the McMichaels turned their backs. It's again a disturbing image, and they walked away. This was a killing. It was callous. Mr. McMichael, the court sentences you as follows. Count 1, malice murder, life without the possibility of parole. Greg McMichael, the court sentences you as follows. Count 1, malice murder, defendant was found not guilty. Count 2, felony murder, life without the possibility of parole. Mr. Bryan was found not guilty on count 1 and count 2. Court sentences Mr. Bryan to life with the possibility of parole on count 3. In a residential neighborhood for at least 5 minutes in pickup trucks, armed with a shotgun and a .357 revolver. The state mentioned this today about the time period, but I do want to put that time period in context. And the only way I could think to do so may be a little theatrical, but I think it's appropriate. I want us all to get a concept of time. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit silently for 1 minute. And that 1 minute represents a fraction of the time that Ahmaud Arbery was running in Satilla Shores. That's approximately a minute. Again, the chase that occurred in Satilla Shores occurred over about a 5-minute period. And when I thought about this, I thought from a lot of different angles, and I kept coming back to the terror that must have been in the mind of the young man running through Satilla Shores.
So, I know that was a lot. And I know a lot of you guys are probably on 10 right now, a lot of my Israelite family, and a lot of my Gentile family. Y'all are probably like, what in heaven's name? And I appreciate you guys for that, because in this season, our people need Gentile brethren that are going to stand for truth and speak out against this stuff as well as we are. Because this stuff is getting out of hand, y'all. I do want to take this moment to applaud the judicial system. I think straight up hell was going to bust loose. I think riots, and I'm not even kidding. I mean, I think it was going to be hell. I mean, if this verdict had went sour against our people, because it would have been a blatant disregard for human life, which our people have become accustomed to, right? Deuteronomy says that your life shall hang in balance. And not just that, but the scripture says about Israel under these curses, Israel's oppressors would find themselves not guilty. So I'm just giving Israelites a framework that this is all a part of the curses that we've been under as a community, as a people, as a nation, which is why, right, we need to go back to the Most High. We need to turn back as a people, back to our God, back to our heritage and our culture, and seek the Most High like never seen before. This was a sigh of relief for the so-called African-American, so-called black community, Israelites by ethnicity. This is a sigh of relief for our people, right? That we finally are seeing people, and I commend that judge. And I love the way he paused and kind of let you really feel the terror of this young man. 5 minutes. He said, this is just a portion. This brother ran from these guys for 5 minutes. The brother had to been gone, you know. And that's a part of the blessing that our people have. We've always been a fit people for the most part. And the brother's gone. 5 minutes trying to evade what he saw as his coming doom. That had to have been a fearful just event to take place. And I commend that judge. I commend our judicial system. And I just want to tell Israel, we got to pray. Our community, brothers and sisters, we need to seek the Most High like never seen before. It's time for us to stop playing around. It's time for us to say, well, that doesn't matter. This is not the gospel, right? Christ left the 99 for the one lost sheep. Let that sink in. We say all lives versus black lives matter. If Yeshua was here today, he goes after the destitute people, which happens to be his people to this day, the descendants thereof, right? And if you're on the side of humanity and you're a champion of life, this should be a no-brainer. Gentile family, you all need to sit down and figure out how can we make amends to this community. Our people have been asking for reparations. We have received none. Countless other groups of people have received them. Our president was just offering reparations to the the immigrants that were trying to enter into the country. $450,000 per individual, $900,000 if they have a child. Let that sink in. Our people have been marching and protesting. We have not received the 40 acres and a mule. We have not received land, any kind of monetary, any kind of make amends for what has happened that we all know is a clear indictment, a clear evil against humanity, right? That has happened to our community. And Israel, we got to seek the Most High. It's time for us to stop this foolishness, right? The homicide rate against our community is going out through the roof. Our people, we just have a disdain for ourselves. Part, in fact, because of the Deuteronomy curses and being stripped of a history. When you've been told that you're nothing for so long, it's hard for you to love your own people. And then this crab in a bucket syndrome sets in, where instead of taking your frustration out against the system that you see that you can't do anything against, you harm those closest to you. I'm going to say it like this, you guys. You can't withdraw from a bank account that you don't have anything in. And our people for so long have been writing counterfeit checks of love for every other people, right? While we're withdrawing from an account with a negative balance in it. It doesn't work like that. Christ, the greatest commandment, is to love your neighbor as you love yourself. But as you see, it is imperative that you must first love yourself. For you've heard it said that charity begins at home. If you don't start with your own family, you're worse than an infidel and a robber. And that's scripture. And our people have been in a society where we've been oppressed, told that we're nothing, told that we don't have any history. You can't uproot a destructive culture without planting a positive one in its stead. Understand? And this is why I feel it disingenuous when my Christian brothers, specifically my Gentile European brothers and sisters, say things like, well, y'all ain't this, y'all ain't the Egyptians, y'all ain't the Israelites. Well, who are we? How come our history is not taught in the school system? Right? It's one thing to say that somebody's not something, but to never give them that sense of value and heritage and self-worth is a disgrace in the eyes of the Most High. If you are to love your neighbor as you love yourself. And from a Christian standpoint, let me say it like this. Christians, as followers of Yeshua, of the Christ, we're supposed to be good physicians. because we following the example of Christ. So now, what good physician doesn't first inquire about the family history? See, society, American specifically, is so concerned about treating the symptom of black on black crime and the destruction and police brutality that plagues the African American community without addressing the root virus that is a people devoid of history and heritage. And as long as we continue to be complicit in the lie, we cannot say we're followers of the truth. Like I said, I thank the Most High for this judicial case. I thank him for the judge, for our country in this moment. But Israel, we got to wake up and turn back to the Most High. And my Gentile brethren, on behalf of my people, right? Y'all have to speak out, and you got to stand up for truth if you call yourself a follower of Jesus Christ. And with that, family, I'm going to leave y'all with that to meditate on that. And I'll be back with some more bangers. I love you all. Peace, blessings, life, prosperity to you and your family. Shalom.